Hello, my dear students. I welcome you all to my channel. Today, we are going to learn an English chapter of class 10. The name of the chapter is Glimpses of India. We have already learned two parts earlier, and this is the last part, that is part 3, Tree from Assam, written by Arup Kumar Datta. So, we are going to explore Assam today with the help of the conversation of two friends, Pranjol and Rajveer. But students, before moving ahead, if you are watching my video for the first time, do subscribe my channel and press the bell icon so that you get the notification of my latest upcoming videos. Okay, so here Pranjal and Rajveer are the two friends. They are classmates who are studying at school in Delhi, and Pranjal's father is the manager of a tea garden in Upper Assam. He is inviting Pranjal's friend Rajveer to come home and spend his summer vacation. So Rajveer is on his way to spend his summer vacation to Pranjal's house. So let us see what kind of conversation and what does he explore during his during his journey. So chai garam chai, a vendor called out in a high-pitched voice. He came up to the window and asked, Chai sab, give us 2 cups, Pranjol said. They sipped the same steaming hot liquid. Almost everyone in the compartment was drinking tea too. Do you know that over 80 crore cups of tea are drunk every day throughout the world? Rajveer said. Phew! Exclaimed Pranjol. Tea really is very popular. The train pulled out of the station. Pranjol buried his nose in his detective book again. Rajveer too was an ardent fan of detective stories, but at the moment he was keener on looking at the beautiful scenery. So students, as you all step or aboard the train, you hear the vendors' noises with different stuffs and food items. Same we heard the chai wala came and he was just saying in his high-pitched voice, "Chai garam chai," and came near the window of these two boys and asked, "Chai sab?" So they said, "Yes, give 2 cups of chai," and they was just started steaming the hot liquid, and everyone almost in the compartment was drinking tea and tasting and enjoying the Assam tea. And the conversation started there, and it started. And Rajveer said, "Do you know there are 80 crore cups of tea being drunk and consumed every day throughout the world?" And it was a shocking news for Pranjal. He said, "No, is it really?" Then he said, "Yes, tea really is very popular." And then the train went on, and Pranjal started reading his detective book as he was a keen reader. Rajveer too was a reader. He was a fan of detective stories, but at that moment, he wanted to capture the beauties, the sceneries, and the beautiful scene which he was exploring there. As we all do when we go out to vacation, we try to capture all the beautiful moments and sceneries in our mind. The same way he was doing. Then it was green, green everywhere. Rajul had never seen so much greenery before. Then the soft green paddy fields gave way to tea bushes. It was a magnificent view. Against the backdrop of densely wooded hills, a sea of tea bushes stretched as far as the eye could see. Dwarfing the tiny tea plants were tall, steady shade trees, and amidst the orderly rows of bushes busily moved tall like figures. Then he's explaining how he could see the the greenery everywhere, everywhere, till the point his eyes and his views he can view it. It is just green and green with the soft paddy fields and the tea bushes and the wooden hills. He can see such a good scenery, and he couldn't forget that. And all tiny, tiny, small tea plants he could see from the far away amidst in a proper row, and he enjoyed everything, and he captured the whole moment in his mind. Then the conversation started. In the distance was an ugly building with the smoke billowing out of tall chimneys. "Hey, a tea garden!" Rajveer cried excitedly. Pranjal, who had been born and brought up on a plantation, did not share Rajveer's excitement. "Oh, this is a tea country now," he said. "Assam has the largest concentration of plantation in the world. You will see enough gardens to last you a lifetime." "I have been reading as much as I could about tea," Rajveer said. "No one really knows who discovered tea, but there are many legends." "What legends?" Well, there's the one about the Chinese emperor who always boiled water before drinking it. One day, a few leaves of twigs burning under the pot fell into the water, giving it a delicious flavor. It is said they were the tea leaves. So students, then they just entered the city, and there was ugly buildings with the smoke coming out of tall chimneys. And again, Raju excited after seeing a tea garden. Panjol did not react, and nor he was so excited upon seeing the tree plantation because he was born and brought up there, and he was habit of seeing it. It was common for him. Then he also added that Assam is the largest concentration of tea plantation, and you will see enough gardens to last for your lifetime. You will remember through your lifetime. Then Rajveer said, I have been reading as much as I could about tea, but no one really knows who discovered tea. But there are many legends, many stories which say. So Pranjul was asking, what legends? So he says, well, there is one Chinese emperor who always used to boil the water and drink. And one such time when he was boiling the water under a tree, some leaves fell into the water and it turned into a delicious flavor. And that was said to be the tea leaves. And that is how the tea was invented. And this is how the story goes. Then the another one, Scott Pranjal, he was excited to listen to the next, other story of tea. That we have an Indian legend too. Bodhidharma, an ancient Buddhist ascetic, cut off his eyelids because he felt sleepy during meditations. Then 10 tea plants grew out of the eyelids. The leaves of these plants, when put in hot water and drunk, banished sleep. Tea was first drunk in China, Rajveer added, as far as back as 2700 BC. So the another story which he said was about the Bodhidharma, the Buddhist ascetic, a saint of Buddhist dharma. He has said to cut his eyelids because he felt sleepy during meditation, and because of his eyelids, the 10 tea plants grew there, and that is when the hot water, when the this tea leaves are put in the hot water and it has been drunk, the sleep is vanished. Since this is the history or a historical point which we get from this Bodhidharma. This is how tea came into existence. And Rajveer also added that tea was first drunk in China as far as 2700 BC. Then tea came to Europe only in 16th century, and when it came, it was first consumed as a medicine, not as a beverage. Rather than a beverage, it was used as a medicine. Then the train clattered into Mariani Junction, and the boys collected their luggage, and it was time to get down. The parents of Pranjol were waiting for them. Soon they were driving towards the Kabari, the tea garden managed by Pranjol's father. Yes, students, Pranjol's father was a manager of a tea garden, and it was the Kabari tea garden. Then, an hour later, the car veered sharply off the main road. They crossed the cattle bridge and they entered the Dekhiabari tea estate. Oh, now what a beautiful scene it was. On both the sides, gravel road were acre upon acre of tea bushes, all neatly pruned and at the same height. Group of tea pluckers with bamboo baskets on their backs, wearing plastic aprons, were plucking the newly sprouted leaves. You might have seen in the movies or in the pictures that how the tea pluckers they wear the baskets and they just they pluck all the tea leaves which are all ready. So it was a live view which the Rajbir was seeing there, he was capturing, and it was so exciting for him. Then the second flush of sprouting, this is the second flush of sprouting period, isn't it, Mr. Barua? Rajbir asked. And it lasts from May to July and yields the best tea. So Rajveer had studied many things about tea before coming because he was so excited to see and experience everything. So when he said this, Pranjal's father said, "Oh, you have done your homework before coming." He said, "Yes, Mr. Barua, but I hope to learn much more while I'm here." So he wanted to learn more about it, and he wanted to have a practical knowledge by visiting the fields and say doing the work practically in the field. So this is how he traveled and explored the whole Assam and gave us the view and the history, the legend about the how we got tea with us. How did it start it as a beverage and a medicine? So this was about the tea from Assam. I hope students you understood the chapter, and thank you for watching my video. Do like, share, and subscribe my channel.